There's no denying that motorcycles are beautiful pieces of machinery, but when they come from the factory, due to legal reasons, they have a few pieces that aren't exactly jaw-dropping. But without a doubt, as soon as we get our hands on them, we instantly fix them to our own tastes and desires. So here is my list of 4 compromises that I make to ensure a good-looking motorbike.
Insert number 1. Pretty much all bikes that weren't 100% set on being on the racetrack from birth come with some funny-looking pieces of metal hanging off of your subframe, usually far too close to the rear seat to be classified as passenger footpegs, especially in the case of a sport bike, but manufacturers insist that they are indeed designed for passengers' feet. That's fine by me, because my days of being a passenger are long gone, and I get my special red carpet seat up front, where all the provoking controls are in reach. But they don't get away that easily, because even though they won't be giving my thighs cramps, they're still giving my eyes a twitch. That high tail with ridiculous lines coming to a naughty point is instantly ruined and made to look like a minivan by the overhanging footpegs. So the fix? Instantly ripping them off. I don't even hesitate anymore. Out comes the socket wrench and off comes the redundant weight. The good looks are restored right away, but that glee comes at a price. Nothing too serious, or enough to even make me want to put them back on, but there is definitely a compromise or two. Which brings us to the trade-offs. A. Suddenly, moving the rear end of the bike in tight spaces is no longer so easy. And B, also known as the one I'm never allowed to forget, is that now every time I want to go for a ride with my girlfriend, it's out to the garage for some quick monkey business to get the pegs back on. But don't let that discourage you. It's well worth it, and now I can get the pegs on in a record-breaking 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Motorcycle design flaw number 2. This one is a controversial topic, and everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Mine is that stock mirrors are terrible creations that effortlessly make your bike look like an insect with feelers. Sure, for the average-sized rider on the average-shaped bike, they work brilliantly in traffic and have saved your life more times than you would care to admit. But there has been a solution that I think brings your bike back to machine from insect. The fix? Bar end mirrors. They might create their own funny looks, but are far less noticeable, especially in photographs, which is why I love them. This leaves the bike's wind tunnel-derived front end and race bike looks here to stay, at least if you can survive the trade-off. Remember how I mentioned that stock mirrors have saved your life countless times? Well, these mirrors don't come with those kind of gimmicks. They're more like a 9 lives kind of feature. The third issue I can't even blame on manufacturers or the government. This one is wholeheartedly to blame on my little-known condition called OCD. The problem with a good-looking bike is that you don't want its true beauty to be hidden in any way or at any time. And riding said beauty undoubtedly results in some mud and grime attempting to cover up its glory. But don't worry, because there is a fix. Endless washing, polishing, and TLC. There are few things in life more therapeutic than cleaning your motorcycle. And something oddly seductive about snow foam covering every inch of the bike. But even though when you're finished, it's hard to believe that there are any trade-offs to its sparkling paint, one issue quickly presents itself. It is now nighttime. Yep. It's been hours since you started and you've accomplished nothing today besides cleaning your bike, but still unquestionably worth it, unlike flaw 4. Sometimes it feels like the government have special meetings to discuss the perfect way to upset bikers. And usually what they come up with successfully wounds us emotionally, so much so that we need another therapeutic bike wash. One of the areas they've butchered beyond recognition is the number plate brackets. Why do manufacturers even bother creating gorgeous rear ends when a bracket with enormous indicators, a floodlight, and a billboard-sized number plate are shoved in the perfect spot to ruin it all, with what seem like space-grade bolts holding it on? Thank goodness there are some life-saving companies creating the fix to prevent bikers having heart attacks. A plate just big enough to be legible, strategically placed in an area that will hopefully go unnoticed, combined with integrated indicators, cleans up the back end to a point where we can stare unapologetically at them for hours again. But the trade-off for this leaves me going back and forth on my illegal decisions. It might look good, but it attracts the attention of cops for a number of reasons, and not because they like the look of it. I have been told that it is too small, that it's in an illegal place, attached illegally and is made of the wrong material. But I'll let you decide whether it is worth it or not.
So let me know down in the comments what kind of silly compromises you make on your motorcycles to make sure that they're always turning heads, and whether they are worth it or not. And if any of these things in this video remind you of a friend, be sure to share this video with them. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.